Okay, good afternoon. It is Friday. Yay! It is 3:10 p.m. The markets are just closing, and we're going to take a look at crude and the Nasdaq today. We had a sell-off in the equity markets across the board. The E-mini, the Nasdaq lost about 95 points today, and it wasn't as deep of a sell-off as we had the other day, but we and this afternoon was really a blow off, but came back. A blowout came back and it hit. Oops, I just moved my level. It hit a prior um, close over here and then bounced. So overall, this is a result of the bond yields rising. A 4-year high, 2.96, which is causing the equities to come off a little bit. But let me tell you, we have growth, people, for the first time in 10 years. So that's why you're not seeing strength into these closes to the downside. You're getting these bounces off the bottoms, and you see this divergence setting up. I was surprised that it didn't get a little bit higher um, going into the close, didn't like take off. But If maybe it's because it's a Friday. That's probably the only reason the traders have mainly all gone. They've taken their money at lunch and adios. But there's going to be a lot of upside in this market. Rest assured, in my mind, the way I'm looking at this, we have earnings, real earnings for the first time in 10 years. So there's a lot of upside move left to this. And I would not think that this is going to be all she wrote for the stock markets. Um, it was a little bit choppy in the afternoon session, and we had a lot of news come out again this afternoon. So a lot of this is event driven. There were a couple of really nice trades taken this morning session that the chart set up very nicely. Reversal shorts getting you in on these nice resumptions of the trend. And after this bull flag, you had your breakout right here of that bull flag. And then it came down to S2, sort of bounced around. And this was the afternoon chop. Well, it went into the afternoon and just sort of chopped around on the bottom. It did make it down to S3, but there was a lot of up and downs getting there. It wasn't as straight of a shot it was in the morning session. So I think most of the traders left, got their money at noon and stopped trading. Wise, wise decision instead of giving it back to the markets. Here on the high-low 2, you can see that when the trade sets back up, you can put it on your trigger and take these outside trades set up beautifully, and that gets you in for your 2 to 3 to 1 ratios, um, or just put it on your 50. And this morning's move had some really nice moves. There was bull flag, and then it resumed to the downside. And if you wanted to trade your 21, catch all of them. So the 21 and 50 seems to be a popular combination. I'm gathering from the traders that I've been talking to and that are using my templates, what they prefer. So let's take a look at crude. We had an interesting up and down day. At first, the market sold off on a tweet early in the morning from the president. He is in responding to OPEC's last attempt to jawbone the market up. They would like to see oil trading between 80 and 100 by year end. And of course, we prefer that oil remained around $50. And that's what the president was responding to. And I kind of cracked up. The afternoon tweet was really funny. Crude is floating bigly. Backwardation is fake news. That's so funny. No, backwardation is not fake news. That's hysterical. That's a keeper. I like that. Um, so here is crude, and this morning, it's kind of hard to see with my Fibonacci on here. Um, we came in overnight and traded away from the gap down to the first Fibonacci level, and then it went up and did the gap run late. Started that gap run around 9:30 in the morning. So a little faker right here, back down and then back up. Typical crude. And so that was a little bit difficult to trade. Let me show it to you on a 3-minute and change this over to a lower linear regression because this was not trending at all today. Very choppy trading, but you can see that when it does start moving, you can put it on all and catch a little bit of the moves as they move all in one direction. Otherwise, you can put it on your favorite setting, 34, 68, 95, or 168 for the larger trend. I kind of like 34 myself for the smaller time frame, and keeping me in the right direction. But as we can see, it was a little bit difficult up and down this morning. It came into the open, like I said, came down to this Fibonacci level, came back, acted like it was going to try to make a run for the gap, probably trap some traders in here, came back to make a double bottom here, and then did make the gap run, but stalled out at our level. We did not close above that all important pivot from 2015, not 14, my apologies, 2015 pivot. So we're flirting with the area. Maybe next week it will break above and trend higher for a little while. Otherwise, see the price come down. As far as the United States is concerned, it just depends on whether you're an investor in oil. You would want the higher oil price. But if you're a consumer of oil prices, like, 99.99% of America, you don't want $100 oil anymore. We can certainly have plenty to be happy about with $50 to $60 oil. There's no reason with the amount of supply that's in the market. And that was the basis of the president's first tweet this morning, where he was making that fact known that there is an abundance of product out there, so much that is probably still in storage tankers floating around. There's not enough buyers for it yet, and yet Saudi Arabia and Russia are making pacts already to end the production cut so that they can get the prices spiking higher. So we'll see what happens. I'm kind of rooting for President Trump on this one. I'd like to see the oil prices stay between 50 and 60, but we have to trade what's in front of us, and every day is just, binary, long or short. And so that's why I like my templates so much. It really does help having your dashboard right here, and having that direction guide at our fingertips, and then having a trade plan to attack the market. I was fooling around this afternoon with my linear regression bands, and um, I'm really, really, really excited about this template. I've got some additional ideas for version 3 already that I'll be working on this weekend, and going back through some market data. So looking forward to working on my new templates or improving them as always, and come see us in the trade room, and say hello, and we'll talk to you soon. Thank you so much. Bye-bye.